the boy picked up a knife and was about to stab his right hand. But the next second, not only did his right hand transform into a monster, but the monster also broke the knife in half. Then, it began to speak. It asked Izumi to teach it how to talk. After the monster spoke, Izumi's right hand returned to its original form. This strange scene reminded Izumi of the previous night when a bug tried to crawl into his ear while he was asleep. However, his headphones blocked the bug. So, the bug then tried to crawl into Izumi's nostrils. It went straight inside, but Izumi suddenly sneezed, expelling the bug. When Izumi saw the bug, he immediately woke up. Just as he didn't know what to do, the bug took advantage of the situation and crawled into Izumi's right hand, climbing up his arm. Izumi hurriedly tied his arm with the headphone wire, cutting off the blood flow. When Izumi's parents came into his room, the wound on his arm had already disappeared, and there was no sign of any injury. The next day, Izumi didn't know what was happening when his right hand suddenly moved toward Murano's body. Izumi was slapped by Murano, and while Izumi was dozing off in class, his right hand under the desk was secretly moving his phone. But that wasn't the strangest part. Just as a car was about to hit a little girl, Izumi suddenly realized the bug from last night wasn't a hallucination. Izumi immediately rushed home, placed his hand on the table, and grabbed a knife. Just as he was about to cut off his hand, Izumi's fingers suddenly cracked open. To his surprise, a mouth appeared on the palm of his right hand, and the voice inside it kept saying how sorry it was that it had failed. Pretending to know nothing, Izumi suddenly picked up the knife and stabbed the monster. However, the monster easily caught the knife and asked Izumi to teach it how to speak. It eventually fainted. After that, Izumi's right hand returned to normal. Izumi spent the entire night researching but couldn't find any information on the monster. When Izumi woke up the next day, his right hand had already woken up and was reading books and studying. This monster could transform into any shape it wanted. Izumi asked what it was, but even the monster didn't know. Its earliest memory was of being unable to occupy Izumi's brain and feeling regret. Izumi was curious about what would happen if his brain were overtaken. The monster speculated that he would become a creature similar to a human, except his brain would deform. Just thinking about the monster's description made Izumi feel disgusted. However, Izumi didn't know that for a long time, he would have to live with this terrifying creature. Izumi initially considered telling the police, but the monster advised him not to do anything because, with his current situation, even if he wasn't captured for research, he wouldn't be able to return to his peaceful, stable life. Suddenly, the monster told Izumi to stop. It had the ability to sense brainwaves. It sensed another of its kind nearby. Even though it was the first time encountering it, the monster was sure that there was another of its kind nearby. Izumi, curious, decided to check it out. He followed the monster's guidance and walked forward. Just as they were about to get closer, Izumi's mind suddenly cleared. The idea of a monster occupying his brain was too unsettling. Izumi, feeling weak in his legs, wanted to turn back, but the monster grabbed him. It held onto a telephone pole, believing that understanding its kind's form was very important. After all, it could sense them at any time, and its kind could sense it as well. Izumi then realized the seriousness of the situation and gathered his courage to move forward. He saw a small alley with a dog eating one of its kind. The dog suddenly spoke to Izumi. Izumi's right hand, Mijai, told him to run because Mijai sensed murderous intent. The dog was very cautious about Izumi, a human. The dog didn't rush toward Izumi right away. Instead, it grew wings and took off into the air. When the dog appeared in Izumi's sight, Mijai extended its tentacles and engaged in battle. However,